Hold on tight. This story will make your blood boil. The Pittsburgh Pirates, a franchise once synonymous with greatness, are now collapsing in a whirlwind of chaos and humiliation. Fans are on the brink of revolt. Planes circle over PNC Park carrying banners that roar, "Sell the team!" Billboards flood Pittsburgh with the same desperate cry, and an online campaign has raised thousands of dollars to oust the despised owner, Bob Nutting. But the drama doesn't stop there. Expired sodas being sold in the stadium, the legendary Andrew McCutchen's name spelled wrong, an employee caught on video assaulting a fan, and a drunk miner who nearly lost his life after falling from the stands. Is this the most cursed franchise in baseball? Stay tuned to discover who's truly to blame for this tragedy and whether there's any hope left to save the Pirates from their own abyss. Don't miss this explosive drama. Subscribe now to Curacroc Sports on YouTube for unfiltered analysis, breaking news, and debates that will keep you glued to the screen. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and live the passion of MLB with us. The Pittsburgh Pirates, with 5 World Series titles, were once the pride of the Steel City. But since 2013, back when Vine was trending, the PlayStation 4 didn't exist, and the iPhone 5 was the latest model. They haven't won a single playoff game. Today, they hold the longest postseason drought in the National League. With one of the lowest payrolls in baseball nearly every year, former players accuse the team of embracing mediocrity. Bob Nutting, the owner, has become the lightning rod for fan outrage, as supporters have raised thousands to fund an anti-Nutting movement. At the Pirates Festival, chants of "Sell the team" echoed like a battle cry. The scandals never stop, from embarrassing blunders like misspelling McCutchen's name, the hometown hero, to serious incidents like a miner almost dying after falling from the stands. The fan base, loyal for generations, now feels betrayed. Who's to blame? Nutting, with his legendary stinginess, or Ben Cherington, whose management has plunged the team into chaos? In 2019, Ben Cherington took over as general manager with an impressive resume, a World Series title with the Red Sox and experience recruiting MVPs like Dustin Pedroia and Mookie Betts. But the Pirates were a titanic challenge, a microscopic budget and a gutted roster. Before his arrival, the team had traded away stars like Garrett Cole, Tyler Glasnow, and Andrew McCutchen, receiving in return Joe Musgrove and Brian Reynolds, who hit over 300 in 2019. Josh Bell smashed over 30 home runs, and young pitcher Mitch Keller showed promise. Yet overall, the roster was a wasteland of talent, with few veterans willing to stay. Cherington hired Derek Shelton as manager and traded Starling Marte to the Athletics for Liover Peguero, a prospect with star potential. In the 2020 draft, he selected infielder Nick Gonzalez, pitcher Carmen Milodzinski, and Jared Jones, aiming to build a solid future. But players like Cole Tucker, Kevin Newman, and an injury-plagued Gregory Polanco disappointed, keeping postseason dreams far out of reach. Only Ke'Bryan Hayes, with his spectacular defense at third base, offered a glimmer of hope in 2020, though his bat still left much to be desired. In 2021, Cherington traded Josh Bell to the Nationals for Will Crowe and Joe Musgrove to the Padres for David Bednar and Andy Rodriguez. He also sent Jameson Taillon to the Yankees in exchange for Roansy Contreras, Miguel Yajure, and Cannon Smith-Njigba. In free agency, his only signing was pitcher Tyler Anderson, a modest bet that reflected Nutting's financial constraints. The team finished with a 61-101 record, a glaring sign of its lack of depth. At the trade deadline, Cherington shipped off Clay Holmes, Adam Frazier, and Tyler Anderson to other clubs, receiving low-impact prospects like Hoy Park and Diego Castillo. The 2021 draft brought Henry Davis, a catcher with a promising bat, along with pitchers Anthony Solometo and Bubba Chandler. Rodolfo Castro surprised everyone by hitting 5 consecutive home runs, but the team remained sunk in a sea of defeats. In 2022, the Pirates signed low-cost veterans like Daniel Vogelbach and Jose Quintana and extended Ke'Bryan Hayes with a record-breaking $70 million 8-year contract, the largest in franchise history. O'Neal Cruz, a 1.98-meter shortstop with incredible arm strength and power, burst onto the scene, electrifying fans. Roansy Contreras emerged as a dominant pitcher, earning the nickname Happy Roansy Day across social media. Yet the team still lost more than 100 games. Prospects like Cal Mitchell, Diego Castillo, and Cannon Smith-Njigba disappointed, and the infamous Rodolfo Castro incident, when his phone fell out of his pocket as he slid into third base, became a symbol of the organization's chaos. Mitch Keller stepped up as a reliable starter, and David Bednar shined in the bullpen, but Cherington's player development system continued to falter, unable to turn prospects into stars. The 2023 season began with a flicker of hope. Andrew McCutchen returned home and the Pirates signed Carlos Santana, Austin Hedges, and Connor Joe to strengthen the roster. With a 28 record in April, they looked like contenders for the first time in years. But a fractured ankle for O'Neal Cruz shattered that momentum. Prospects like Henry Davis, Nick Gonzalez, and Liover Peguero failed to meet expectations, and the team collapsed. At the trade deadline, they dealt Rich Hill and Ji-Man Choi for minor prospects, a clear white flag. Jared Jones and Jack Sawinski showed potential, but the development system remained a mess, and fans began to lose patience. In 2024, the Pirates selected Paul Skeens, a generational pitcher, as the first overall pick in the draft. They signed Rowdy Tellez, Yasmani Grandal, and Michael A. Taylor, and traded for Joey Bart, who made an impact with the bat. Jared Jones impressed as a rookie, but Cherington delayed Skeens' call-up despite his dominance in the minors, posting a staggering 0.99 ERA. When Skeens finally debuted in the majors, he struck out 7 and became an instant fan favorite. However, the offense was the worst in the league, unable to support Skeens' brilliance. At the trade deadline, Cherington acquired Brian De La Cruz and Isaiah Keener-Falefa, but both underperformed. The decision to release Tellez just to avoid paying a $200,000 bonus made national headlines, reinforcing Nutting's stingy reputation and further enraging the fan base. The 2025 season was complete chaos. Fans intensified their protests with chants, billboards, and even a supporter confronting Nutting while wearing a shirt that read, "Sell the team." Derek Shelton was fired, and new manager Don Kelly brought energy, but no results. Cherington traded away Cabrian Hayes and David Bednar for minimal returns, sparking fury among fans. The acquisition of Spencer Horwitz showed promise, but an early injury crushed expectations. Bubba Chandler debuted with potential, but a second-round draft pick refused to sign with the Pirates, and scandals, including a lake contamination linked to a team-affiliated company, added more embarrassment. The season ended with a weak roster, a demoralized fan base, and an organization with no clear direction. Over 5 years, Cherington won 15 trades, broke even on 10, and lost 23, giving up 32 wins to other teams while gaining only 9 in return. Of the 67 players acquired, few have delivered. Henry Davis, Liover Peguero, and Nick Gonzalez fell short of expectations. Free agent signings like Tellez, Taylor, and Grandal were disasters. Only Skeens, Jones, Keller, and Reynolds offer hope, yet the offense remains a disaster, and the front office lacks a coherent plan. Fans who have stood by the team through 29 losing seasons in 33 years have reached their breaking point. The Pirates are trapped in a cycle of mediocrity that has broken Pittsburgh's heart. Bob Nutting must finally open his wallet, and Cherington needs to make smarter decisions. With prospects like Connor Griffin and a pitching core led by Skeens, Jones, and Keller, there's a faint glimmer of hope. But the road ahead is long and punishing. The fans who have loved this team for generations deserve more than excuses, scandals, and losses. Can the Pirates rise again and restore glory to Pittsburgh, or will they remain the laughingstock of Major League Baseball? Only time will tell.